to know these chords. We've got D minor, E major, C major, A minor, and then we've also got F major, C in a bar position, and B barred as well. So this song has two sections in it. It's only got these two chord sequences. You've got the verse sequence and the chorus. And the verse is also the intro and the main riff of the song, and the middle eight. So you've only got two chord sequences to learn. Cool, so we're going to start with the verse for this song. The rhythm that the guitar plays is really similar to the vocal line. So it's going to be easiest for you to play if you're imagining the vocal along with it or even singing along to it yourself. So if you can have that in your head, that would be really helpful. This section starts in a slightly weird place. It doesn't come in on the one, the guitar and the vocal. They come in together on the one and. So what I mean by that is if the count of the song is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and, that's the beat that you're going to come in on, the 1 and. So I'm going to play you the verse and sing along. We've got the drum machine here so that you can feel the tempo. It's a bit slower than the song, so hopefully you'll be able to hear what's going on a little clearer. And I'm going to count in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, and then I'm going to start singing on the and that comes right after that. So it goes like this. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. I'm not lonesome, I'm not blue, I'm not helpless without you. That's how you're going to come into the verse on the one and hopefully you would have had an idea there of how the guitar part and the melody line are similar as well. So I'm going to play you the whole verse 1 now, a bit slower without the drum machine, so that you can get a sense of where the chord changes are happening. So it's going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. I'm not lonesome, I'm not blue, I'm not helpless without you. I'm not terrified of the dark. I like the cold of my broken heart. Cool, so you'll hear that I'm playing at like a couple of different volumes on the guitar, and there are a couple of points in each section that are quite strong, and then there are other moments where I'm kind of playing a bit more percussively through the line. So those things are up to you. Obviously I know, sometimes even when I play it, every time I play it a little bit differently as well. So don't stress too much, but I'll show you where the important hits are of the part on the guitar, and then you can freely express and be percussive in any way that you want around that. So the first line of the verse goes a bit like this, so 1. So you can hear there the melody and the guitar part are really in sync. So we'll do that again. And then it carries on kind of similarly, but there's something at the end of this next line that is a little accent that's on a funny beat that I'll show you. So from the beginning and carrying on into the line 2. So that's a little accent that actually happens on like the kind of 3/4 note of the final beat of the bar. You'll hear a little bit more clearly when we've got the drum machine back on where it is. But I wouldn't stress about it, you can just feel that one out. But yeah, there's a little accent point there for a guitar flair. So I'll just do that once more for you and I'll carry on and you'll be able to get a bit more of a sense of the rhythm through the rest of the verse as well. So it's going to go like this. 1. that fourth line, there are some more accents where there's no singing. So I'll just do that last line. Without you. So we're just hitting 3 times down on that A minor chord, and that's just another guitar moment for you where it doesn't sync up with the vocal. So we'll put that all together. I'll stick the drum machine on and you'll be able to maybe feel out where the beats are a bit more as well. So go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And once you've learnt that half of the verse, it's the same for the next half. And in fact, that's pretty much you've basically just learned most of the song. So that's the good news. When we do it the next time round, it's the same, except we're going to be leading into a chorus. So on the last line, there's a little difference. And I'll play into it and you should be able to hear how it goes. So this is the second half of the first one. Okay. So we've just gone without you. So we're just going to have a look at that slight difference at the end of this section. Instead of doing those 3 hits that we did the first time, now that we're going into the chorus, we're going to do 2 of them, and then on the third one, play our bottom E string open, and that's going to lead us into our first chord of the chorus, which is your F major. So it's going to sound a bit like this. So we're just going to put that all together and run through from the top, and we're going to take us all the way into the beginning of the chorus for you to hear how that all sounds together. So keep your ear out for the accents in the verses and how they change at the end of the verse. So counting us in with the drum machine. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So we've landed at the chorus. This has a slightly different rhythmic feel. It's not as weird as the verse, you'll be glad to know. So we will be playing on the 1. The chords for this one are, you've got your F, and we're gonna go to the E and back. So that's one little section. And then we've got our C and a bar down to the B and back up like that. It's gonna go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you'll notice at the end there are some little accents. The rhythm is the same as what we learnt in the verse. So we're just going to apply that same technique at the end of the chorus there as well, on that B shape. So I'm going to play the chorus through for you now. And I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll have the drum machine running as well, so you can get a sense of the tempo and how it fits together. So starting on the F, I'll give us like a 1-bar count in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 other thing about this chorus is I do a lot of trying to emphasize the bottom strings rather than playing every chord all the way through. So you'll hear that sometimes, especially on that F chord, that I'm just playing it a bit lighter with my focus on the bottom strings. So you can interpret that as you want, but that's just my emphasis that I play with. So we're just going to go from the beginning of the verse now, and we're going to do a verse and a chorus together so you can hear how they fit. And I'm just going to count along with the drum machine. So I'm going to give us 2 bars of counting in so that you can get familiar for coming in with the 1 and for the verse. And then keep an ear out for how we're going to segue between the verse and the chorus as well. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And that should be a D minor that takes you back into the verse. Cool, so now you've got the verse and the chorus chords down. That's all the chords for the whole song. So we're going to put them all together now and run it through as the song. And I'm going to be singing over it as well so that you can hear what's going on. So as I said at the beginning, the intro chords are the verse. So it starts there, and I'm playing that quite loud. Then when the vocal comes in for verse 1, I kind of palm mute a little bit. So I've got the side of my hand just like resting a little bit on the strings. That means I get a little bit more dynamic control, gives a little bit more room for my vocal to come over the top. So you can practice that as you're going as well. So it'll go from verse 1 into the chorus. And then out of the chorus, like we just heard, we're going to end on that, our 3 little accent hits on that B. That's our chords that are leading us straight back into a verse that's like the intro. So no singing, it's just like a kind of instrumental section. So we'll go straight back to our D minor. So there's a little hang, there's a little pause in between that you'll hear. It'll make sense when you hear it all together. So that'll happen as like an instrumental verse. And then verse 2 is the same, like playing slightly quieter, and there's another chorus. And then we'll get to the middle 8, and I'll just briefly tell you about how this goes. So the middle 8 has the same verse chords. It's just the D and the E, and I'm muting it a lot with my hand. And I simplify the rhythm a little bit. So I'm imagining in my head, and this is what I do when the vocal comes in, I go, I'm not lonesome, I'm not lonesome. So I pretty much am just playing the chords in the same rhythm that I'm singing them. And then I start building, and I'm releasing the strings a little bit as I go. I'm adding a little bit more rhythm. You can do this however you want. It's just adding drama and dynamics. That section, without you, it's just the C and the A minor. And we just fall straight back into the chorus. And then that's the last chorus of the song. And then you've played the whole song. So we're going to put it all together now. I'm going to give us a 2-bar count in just so that you're ready for the 1 and of that verse sequence. And when you first hear it, it's going to be the intro. So there won't be any vocals, and then you'll hear me singing along for the rest of the tune. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Well, thank you very much for learning my song Lonesome with me. I hope that you enjoy it and I hope that you like the song. And have a good time playing along to it. And most importantly, I think, just make it your own. And yeah, thank you very much.